Hello Virgo, Elsie here to do a reading for you. We are reading for the entire month of June. See what's coming up for you, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. How are you, friends? Let's find out what's going on for you. We're talking about three things this time around, and that is what's shifting for you in June. We do have a full moon coming up tomorrow, so it's the end of a chapter, and a new chapter is starting, right? The end of a cycle. So the second thing is what needs your attention the most in the month of June. And the third thing we'll ask is, well, what are you making room for? Because something is going to be arriving. So what's arriving and what are you making room for? Let's talk about this, and also don't forget that private reads are open. Check the pinned comment for a link to a private read. We'll talk about the extendeds at the end of this reading. Let's talk about it. What is shifting for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter in June? Passion's igniting. All right. So there's a shift into passion. Now, this could be passion with a person. This could be passion for a job. Maybe you find a new passion. Look, maybe you're going to decide to throw clay. I don't know what it is, but it's creative. It feels like you're finding creative ways to close the loop between you and passion. It feels like it's time to start including it in your month here. And then the question we have here is what needs your attention the most? It says here that you're going to have some obstacles and challenges. Now, card number 5 is about lack, but for me, all of these little fireflies, or if they look like orbs to me, it feels like you are going to have people around you to get you through the obstacles and challenges. So that could be people from the other side. It could be people that show up in your life to help you across some sort of break in the road. It feels like there is going to be some obstacles and challenges, but I don't think you'll be facing them alone. So I think there's some obstacles and challenges that are going to need your attention the most. What are you making room for? So what's arriving then, because you're making room? We have the throat chakra. Ooh, you're clearing your throat. That's what it feels like. But look, we have the second 5 that is showing up here. Now, when you're in a reading with me, please know that when I see more than one 5 in a reading, that there's something that's changing quickly here. So I think that you're not going to have to wait very long throughout the month of June to be able to see some sort of difference that is showing up here. I feel like the obstacles and challenges you'll be facing probably have something to do with or connected to the throat chakra, because you're about to say what you mean and mean what you say. Your throat chakra, you're clearing your throat and you're standing up to say something. We have transformation. Whatever you say is going to cause change or deep transformation here. It feels like it's going to be the end of your silence. Transformation is the death card, and it feels like it's going to be the end of your silence because the throat chakra is here. All right. Let's find out what's going on with the tarot. Tell me about Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. What is shifting in June for Virgo? This passion ignited. It's going to be an exciting month. Something is going to excite you, the beginning of something here. Tell me about what's shifting. We have the 8 of Pentacles. It could be your career, your game plan for where you want to work. It feels like you have some information, or maybe you have a specialty. Maybe you're a person who has a doctorate or a bachelor's, or maybe you are trying to get your PhD, or maybe you do. It feels like you're a subject matter expert on something. And so it feels like what is changing here is quite exciting. It feels people are going to notice your worth. They're going to notice that you've worked really hard on something here. So I feel like this is going to be quite exciting for you. We do have the King of Cups. There's been a change in you, and it does feel like you are in this change, in this shift after the full moon. It feels like you're being very specific, very pointed, I would say very practical about where you're giving or sharing your emotional energy. I feel like you'll see yourself in June become more emotionally aware and emotionally intelligent, which means that you're just not going to lose your mind emotionally over things that you may have lost your mind over emotionally a month ago. It feels like you are holding back your emotions. You're not really going to let people know how you feel on the surface. It does feel like this is an exciting time for you, because I feel like you're pulling back your energy. It feels like you are becoming stronger, becoming more courageous. You're not just giving away your emotional energy, you're becoming emotionally intelligent. So it means that you're no longer in this energy of being provoked. Why? Because you're very organized. It feels like you're organized in your thoughts, you're organized with your path, where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do. I now am organized and I know what I want from this. It feels like a really exciting time. It feels like coming out of this full moon here. It does feel like this is a very exciting time for you, that you're at the beginning of something very exciting. I feel like there is going to be a block that is going to be removed. You're going to have the courage to remove the block on your intuition. Look, the King of Cups is here, and that is Scorpio. And Scorpio is the psychic giant of the internet. Not of the internet, of the zodiac. And so I feel like you are really learning how to listen to your intuition. I feel like you are becoming an expert on your spirituality. It feels like you are removing some sort of a block. And now with this person has their eyes covered, because they are, yes, protecting themselves, but also they're not believing what they see anymore. I feel like you're going to feel it out first. Look, I know Virgos in my life are very, very especially psychic, like in a very different grounded way than other people. But I feel like you are noticing that, or you are depending on that, I would say. Finding the courage to depend on that. I think this is an exciting time for you. Tell me, what deserves the most attention, or what needs the most attention from you? I feel like you're a worrier. It does feel like there are some things that you know might be coming up. You also might have those on the table right now. And it feels like you are a worrier, or you're worrying about what the outcome is going to be. So I'm going to say that things are going to start moving quickly from here forward in terms of overcoming obstacles and challenges. Now, please understand that I don't think you're going to get sprinkled with some fairy dust and, oh, everything's going to magically disappear. What I do feel is that now that you're emotionally intelligent, you're going to be able to keep your emotions disciplined, and that's how you're going to get some sort of victory or celebration. Something from here is going to move you away from feeling nervous or worried about the obstacles and challenges that you're dealing with. I like this. You're dealing with it now in a very slow, pragmatic and practical way. I'm going to look at the details. When I get enough information, I'll let you know. It feels like you're taking control. You're running the kingdom. The obstacles are always going to be here. Look, you're always going to have some sort of obstacle to get over. Challenges. Stop thinking about life in a place where everything goes smooth and just expect that there's going to be challenges. But look, when you have the know-how, when you have the time, the effort, the energy, the money, or the good health, mental health, physical health to get through it, then there's really nothing to worry about. Because if you're expecting it to come up and you have a practical way to get through it, then there's really no worry to be had about the obstacles and challenges. They're going to come up, and that's the truth of it. But I feel like how you handle it matters. We do have the Eight of Swords. I think that the way you're used to handling it is probably with overthinking. I don't think that overthinking can be a bad thing unless you stay there for too long. So I think what needs your attention is possibly the overthinking, which is causing the worry. Getting in the chariot and leaving those worries behind, I think, is what you need. But the only way to do that is to think about things in more practical terms, to slow down and really get the data before you start to jump to the nightmare fuel, which is the Eight of Swords. So I feel like there are some obstacles coming up. Some of them could be financial. You could be having obstacles or challenges with your car, I'll just say, because the chariot is here. But I think that those are probably minimal. And I feel like for the most part, the King of Pentacles is here. That's somebody who has enough resources to take care of whatever the obstacle or the challenge is. So whether you need more energy, or you need better health, or you need more money, I feel like you are going to have the resources you need in order to fix the car. If you're worrying about something going wrong with your car, I feel like you could get stuck in this place of overthinking it rather than taking action. Let's talk about the throat chakra, because what you are making room for, you need to make room for what's arriving. And I feel like you're going to have to clear your throat and say something out loud here. Tell me about the throat chakra. We've got, the Nine of Wands. All right. So I feel like you really are going to say what you mean and mean what you say. It feels as though, we can get a little bit snappy when we're feeling a little bit run down or exhausted. And I think that getting closer to the end of the month, it feels like you start to find your throat chakra cleared because you're just over it. It feels like you're feeling burnt out. You've been doing a lot. You've been taking a lot of action. You've been actioning a lot of things. You've been moving really fast. It feels like there is some burnout approaching. And I feel like you're going to get very specific about how you share what it is that you need and what you don't need. Tell me more about the 9 of Wands. We've got the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. When you don't see the value in something, I don't want to get stuck in that for 10 years. If somebody's trying to talk you into something that they see the value in, but you don't see the value, you're going to have to speak up, friend. Because I feel like if you already are feeling exhausted, over promising, 10 of Pentacles is in the reverse. I don't think you're getting the return on investment. And I'm not talking about money. It could be like somebody who's asked you to show up every week to walk their dog or every week to do something for you. I feel as though you're tired enough from going through, it feels like you must reserve your energy for the obstacles and challenges that you're going to have to go through. I feel like, by the way, these obstacles and challenges, these are not towers. That's not what I'm feeling. We don't see towers. We're seeing things that you're going to have to expend a lot of energy to correct and bring back into line because the organization is the King of Pentacles. So it might be a money thing with the bank. You understand? Like, I feel like instead of you giving everyone else your time, effort, and energies, I think you need to pull it in and I really think that because you're limited on energy or you're feeling exhausted, I feel like that's where the throat chakra comes in because the 10 of Pentacles is in the reverse. No, I just don't see the value in this. This is not where I want to spend my time, effort, energy, money, or health. This isn't what I want to do. So I feel like the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse is telling me, yes, there could be an impact to your finances, which means maybe you're just saying to your employer, look, I'm just not doing the overtime anymore. I'm exhausted. It could be simply that. And that would, of course, make you make less money. But it feels like you've really got to tell people what you need, especially if you start feeling run down financially or energetically. Got the Hermit energy. Maybe it's time to just spend some time by yourself in the backyard, staycation, whatever it is you're going to do. It feels like you do not have enough time for you. The 9 of Wands, the person is holding an Ace of Wands. I feel like you're used to taking action on everything that's asked of you. This is your energy, the Virgo energy. And we all know that you are the person who is in service. Even if you don't want to, you'll be there and you will be in service and nobody could ever say, Virgo turned me down. But I have a feeling that you're going to be having to pull back your energy because I feel like you're feeling pretty wasted by the end of the month. So it feels like with the Hermit energy, it's time to go in and really look at where your light is. Where can I shine the brightest? I can't give 35 people my energy, but I can split those into 3 groups and then I can give 3 people my energy and those 3 people can help the rest. Do you know what I mean? It's about organization. It's also about finding your light. It's about how do I feel about me? How am I going to organize it so I don't have to expend so much energy? I feel like this is a month of transformation for you. It's a month of really figuring out what you can leave behind and what you're going to go forward with and give your energy to. But you can't do any of that if you don't start speaking up. So I feel like this Hermit energy is saying, look, you need time to yourself. I don't care if you've got to go rent a hotel room for 2 days and sit in the hot tub and swim and eat bad food and watch TV. I don't care what it is, but it feels like you need some time to yourself, friend. We've got the 6 of Wands. I think that is exactly what is going to make you feel like you're winning the race here. Because the 6 of Wands is, this person has obviously been through obstacles and challenges, right? This person is in a wheelchair, but is still winning. So I'm going to say that your obstacles and challenges are not going to be any worse or any better than anyone else's. I feel like you just need to make sure that you're in the right frame of mind and the right resources to take care of a car breakdown, to take care of, maybe I can hold back on doing too much overtime. It feels like you're going to need to learn how to speak up. So what's arriving is your voice, I feel. Saying, look, it's time for me to start taking care of me instead of giving all of my energy taking care of everybody else. So I'm going to put down 3 cards here. We're going to go into the extended. For those of you who are not coming, this could usually end up being advice or maybe what might be happening at the end of this reading. For those of you who would like to come to the extended, please check the pinned comment. All right, we have the 7 of Cups in the reverse. Very interesting. We have the 9 of Pentacles. This feels to me like you finally pull back your energy and now you feel a lot more stable. You feel, I want to say that you're probably someone who accomplishes a lot, but you don't feel like you are, because I feel like so many people are sucking the energy out of you. When you start to speak up, it feels like with the Seven of Cups in the reverse, it feels like you no longer are in this illusion of I can do everything for everyone. And so I think that when you pull back your energy and stop seeing everything as stop seeing the illusion that I can do it for everybody, you start to fill your own cup. And look at that, you end up in the Nine of Pentacles, which is confident, feeling really good about yourself, building something, building your finances, your energy, your wealth, your time, your effort. You're now putting it into the self, because now you're seeing things clearly. No more illusions. We've got the Knight of Cups. I like this one, because in this particular deck, all the decks I have, my little library here, they all have the same 78 cards, but they all mean different things when I see the depictions. This particular one says, this is my heart space. This is for me. I've got to do it for me. I've got to love me. It feels like here that you are giving your emotional energy, you're building on your emotional energy for yourself, because by the end of the month, you're going to feel like you're in the win. People are going to be noticing that you are stronger spiritually, that they might not see you as much and you may not be servicing them as much, but that you've changed. You're very transformed. You feel very solid, better reputation, feels like better aptitude for bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like you are taking better care of yourself. Bottom of the deck, we have emotional withdrawal. I'm just saying, you're pulling back your energy. And then we have card number 14, which is patience. So that is the Temperance card. And I think in a moment of alchemy, you will indeed pull back your emotional energy. And that is with this Hermit energy here. And I think that's the biggest change for you. That it's time for you to start realizing that you count as well. It's not just everyone around you. We do have the Justice card. Look, I can't even. You're going to get your justice. Things are going to come back. They're going to be restored. Your energy will be restored. Your money will be restored. I think that whatever obstacles that are going to go on, and we'll talk about that in the extended if you want to be there, I think that you will be well prepared to take care of those obstacles and challenges. If you want to be in the extended, please look in the pinned comment. There is a pinned comment there for the membership area. As I pull all of this apart, there's also a pinned comment there for private reads. If any of this resonates with you and you would like a private read, then please click on the link to Hypsee. Take a look at my packages and pricing. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Thanks, Virgo, for stopping in. I'm going to go for now. You be well. Thank you. Bye-bye.